Hello and oh god, I've lost all my words.
That was fast.
I don't know where they've gone. I can't find them.
Hello and welcome to episode 146 of That King Thing. Just a quick reminder.
This episode is sponsored by no one because still no one wants to sponsor us. This is my ongoing joke for 2019. Although I'm sure at some point, just after the news, you will hear a Podbean advert if you listen on Podbean. Because that's our main source of income right now. That, and thank you, Patreons. You help too. Patreon
you do
sponsors.
indeed.
Why have I just written the word Patreon on this piece of paper? I shouldn't talk about the piece of paper. It alludes to what's happening later. Dun, dun, dun.
You know it, bitch.
It's more like... Dun-dun-dun.
Dun-dun-dun. I'm gonna do my intro properly again.
Okay. Redo.
This is episode 146 of That King Thing, the gaming podcast hosted by us, the King Brothers. I am eldest King sibling and your host, Thomas. I'm joined by middle King sibling, Joshua.
That's me.
And smallest King sibling, James.
That is me.
Littlest, sorry. Oh, God. God!
Right. Do you need to start
No, I'm
again?
broken. I'm broken.
You can go all the way from the beginning if you want. You can do the music again. So it feels like a fresh run.
That is not the first time I've done that either.
No, it's not.
Oh, God. Right. This week, what have we been up to, brothers?
I think you should go first, Thomas, because you shouldn't get this bit wrong, because it's just what you've been doing.
I don't know what I've been doing. This is probably the prime thing I'm going to get wrong. If I can't even introduce the show, how am I going to remember what I've been playing?
With your brain.
With my brain. No, you two have to go first. That's the law.
All right,
Because mine always turns into a really long rant or discussion.
I'm pretty sure we've all done the same thing anyway.
All right, have we?
I have played more of the Anthem demo, so I've done everything on that as far as I know now. So I'm level 15 and stuff. I've played Realm Royale on the Xbox.
Didn't do that.
I have played Apex Legends, which came out on Monday. Got my first win.
We'll talk about that later.
I reinstalled Overwatch, and I've been playing Overwatch a little bit as well. So you two won't have done that, I'm guessing.
I play Overwatch on PC. Thank you very much. So fuck you. I do play Overwatch.
Well, I played it on Xbox, so we've got those two. We've got those two platforms covered. James needs to play on PS4 now. What else have I done? I don't know what else I've done. I've played some Rocket League and some other stuff, but not much.
Rocket League?
Yeah, Rocket League. I'm always playing Rocket League.
Rocket League.
Rocket
Doing
League.
throwbacks. 2019, year of the throwback.
I have a dream.
Oh, I can't remember the whole context of the I Have a Dream thing. And it now sounds really weird to anyone who's not listened to us since the beginning.
I don't know anything about what you're on about. I don't remember.
Something about cats.
Oh, I can't remember. I'm going to have to go listen to some of the old best of episodes and find the context of that now. It's going to annoy me forevermore.
I have a dream.
Because your impression of Martin Luther King with the I Have a Dream speech turned into Bill Clinton halfway through. It was like, I have a dream
I remember that.
these cats can do something. It sort of started sounding like Bill Clinton.
These cats can do something.
It was like that, and you sounded really like Bill Clinton.
I can remember that Thursday last week, last day of the month, and I had 4,000 and something gamer score for January. So that weren't bad.
All right, no lifer.
I'm on about 500 gamers. Most of it was Spyro. It's 3,000 from Spyro, so I'm not going to get that high easily again. But yeah, I've got about
I need to finish the other 2,000 of Spyro that I've not done yet.
But yeah, that's about all I've done.
We'll move to James then. James.
Apex Legends.
Okay, we'll talk about that later.
Moving on to Thomas.
So you're saying that Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and most of Monday you didn't play anything?
I've played the new mode that they put on Blackout, which is actually quite good.
Does it involve a 3-man squad?
No.
And special abilities?
No, it doesn't. It's called Ambush. They did one ages ago as well, but I can't remember what that was now. Oh, you could like respawn in like a bit like what you can do on Apex Legends, but yeah, sorry.
Don't ruin that bit.
Yeah, it's called Ambush, and you only have snipers on the map with knives.
What? So it's like our old 360 knife parties?
It's actually
where you
really
could only
good.
no scope 360 or throwing knife someone.
It's not throwing knives; it's a Bowie knife.
Still, it's the
similar.
same sort of concept because what was it? Ours was It was 360 knife party, so it was you could only no scope. You could only no scope
Throwing knife
with the bolt actions, and then you could the only other thing you could do is throwing knife, tomahawk, or whatever other rendition of thrown blade they've had over the years.
It were a tomahawk to throw, and it was the little knives that you fired from your
ballistic knives. Yes, little ballistic knives that you fired. Yeah, and then the final kill always had to be a 360.
Yeah. It's not necessarily quick scoping and that though. It's just bug standard sniping.
No, I know, but I'm just saying it reminds me of when we used to play those games, and we'd literally spend hours just in private lobbies doing that.
Yeah.
We would.
When COD was fun.
That was when COD was
we were
dwindling
12.
into not fun, and we were making it fun by making something up.
I say when we were 12, it was you two that were probably about that age. I was a bit older at that time.
I was not 12.
Still.
I was
at
12
least
once.
Yeah, you were.
15, 16, when Black Ops were out.
Give over.
World at
Give
War was
over.
out, and the current Call of Duty while I were in college.
No, these are lies.
Yeah, it's true.
I was 18 and 19. No, I wasn't. I was 19 and 20 during World at War era. So, how many years younger than me are you? 5?
I'm 5
4.
years younger.
You were born in
No,
89,
5.
I'm born in 93.
I'm
So
5
4
years
years younger than you.
That's right, everyone. I don't know my own brother's ages.
You didn't know your own name earlier. So, at least you're making progress.
You thought you were starting to us back at the grid, didn't you, at the beginning?
No, I was thinking, what episode number is it? And in my head, I was saying episode 146, and then out loud, I was trying to say that king thing, and it just turned into.
Hello.
Yeah, that's basically what it turned into. Okay, so let's address the Battle Royale elephant in the room. Because along with many, 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 many other people, it sounds like we've all been playing Apex Legends. Yeah. So that is the thing of talking point this week. So for those not in the know, I will briefly cover what Apex Legends is, and then we will discuss our views on it, I guess. So it is another Battle Royale. You can't escape them these days. It's from Respawn, which, for those who don't know, is the
Titanfall
team behind Titanfall 1 and 2. It is set in the Titanfall universe, but if you are not a fan of Titanfall for things like the mechs, the big robots, and the wall running and all that kind of stuff that people fell out with Call of Duty for, don't worry, because it's not in this. It is sort of slightly more down-to-earth Battle Royale that you expect and know.
Yeah.
I would, on initial sort of plays so far, I would describe it as an Overwatch meets like Blackout and Titanfall.
Yeah. It's
in a Battle
for
Royale.
me, it's a big mix of them all, really. Like, you got features of everything.
Yeah, there's little components from other things. So yeah, it's got a class system where you pick a type, and you obviously you've got different abilities. So you've got like a passive ability that's just always active, and you've got a couple of special abilities, like an ultimate sort of big one hit takes a long time to come off cooldown for you to be able to use it.
Yeah.
And another one that you can use a little bit more regular. So that's where your sort of Overwatch type element comes in, and different characters as well have different sort of play styles. So you've got defenders, assaulters, medics, and then there's, I can't remember the other one. Is it tracker for the first guy?
It's
Recon, that's it.
Yeah.
So you've got like different kinds of character. So in order to make a balanced team, ideally you want a mix, but you don't have to. There's no like limitation. But if you're staying as a squad, you've got a better chance at that. So that's your kind of Overwatch element. The map is very much a Titanfall type environment, as is a lot of the sort of the feel of things.
All the weapons come from Titanfall. Every single one, is a Titanfall based weapon.
Yeah, you've got like things like the Mozambique,
the Hemlock, the
Hemlock, stuff like that. Some guns that people that play Titanfall will definitely recognise. What else?
Some that are missing,
which
could either be added or kept out as well.
We're talking about what's in it, not what's not in it. In terms of sort of just general gunplay, it's fairly similar to most shooters that you'll have experienced, like your Titanfalls, your Call of Duties, and so on. It is Battle Royale. So it is forced into teams at the minute. There's no solo, so you do have to play as a squad.
3 members.
It's 3 members, but I have played in games with 2.
Yeah.
Because I think that's just because it's not found a third random.
Yeah.
And there are 8 of these classes that you can play as, these legends, as they refer to them in the game, hence the name. So there's 8 different ones. 6 are available straight away. 2 are unlocked, but you can get the unlocks just essentially by playing, and kills are worth, say, 100 of the currency, and you need 1,000 of the currency to unlock a player. So it's like 10 kills, and you can unlock one of them. Another 10 kills, you can unlock the other one, and you're done. It does have things like loot boxes, all that kind of stuff, but to be honest, I sort of didn't even realise they were there in my play sessions so far, because you don't need them. So it's the same as Overwatch and many other games in that respect, where it's just loot boxes that give you skins for your character, calling cards, and camo for your guns, that kind of thing. There's nothing like pay to win in there for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
So
for sure,
that is a general gist of what it is. So we'll move on to thoughts, I guess, of what we have all experienced playing it. So I'll let one of you two talk for a bit. I'll let you fight out amongst yourselves. Who goes first?
James can go.
Oh, okay. I wanted the fight. Yeah, I like it. I've only heavily played it today. I played it a little bit the last couple of days, but played it quite a lot today. But it's good. I proper like it the way that it is. I just hope they don't start adding stuff to it, because for me it feels like Fortnite felt like when that was first launched. It was fun. It had its like unique things to it. But then they started adding stuff to that, and it ruined it quite quickly for me.
But they added stuff to that because it weren't a finished game yet. This is released as a finished game. So they're only going to add expansions to it, really, rather than change the core foundation of it or anything.
Yeah, I'd have thought that over time the plan would be add new legends, add new
characters. Oh yeah, I don't mind them adding new characters and stuff like that. But it's when they start introducing all sorts of weird shit that when it gets ridiculous.
Such as?
Well, like them buggy bombs and stuff, like all weird stuff like that. Like, it's just not...
Yeah, but you're not going to get things like that in a game like this, are you? That's not what this game's about.
My point is, I hope they don't start doing stuff like that.
Your problem is Fortnite is made for 12-year-olds,
yes.
James. This game is not. Simple.
Entirely true.
And all the Fortnite listeners just tuned out. But this actually feels like a game that could not straight away take it to Fortnite, but the initial signs are good. from the first
I know
48 hours or so of it being live.
I know people that stop playing Fortnite in past 2 or 3 days to play that instead, just because it's better.
Yeah, but that happens with everything. Sea of Thieves has been the trending fucking game on Twitch because all the Fortnite players, after a certain time, stop playing Fortnite for the night and go on Sea of Thieves instead. And everyone keeps making this big deal about, oh my god, Sea of Thieves is the top played game on Twitch. Fuck you, Fortnite. It's like, you do realise that is happening because all the big Fortnite streamers are not streaming Fortnite and moving over to play Sea of Thieves, so they bring their 40k audience to Sea of Thieves, which suddenly creates an 80k swap over because you're losing 40k on Fortnite and gaining 40k on Sea of Thieves, so they're instantly going to swap places when you've got 2 or 3 big streamers doing that. So I don't know how to take like that as such because the Fortnite streamers don't just play Fortnite, but it does strike me as a game that Fortnite streamers could quite easily convert themselves over to without losing an audience.
Yeah, if they want
moving to Blackout or moving to Realm Royale for some reason, and then again, I don't know. Realm Royale's maybe one that people could,
Realm Royale,
but it's still too far in beta. It's not really been pushed by high res as much. That I don't think.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting. Go on, Joshua. What's your sort of general experience of it so far?
I really like it in comparison to Fortnite, or to be honest, I've only played Realm Royale a few times, but that's still, you can tell that's still not done. Like you said, it doesn't feel like they've had enough people pushing it as much. But it feels finished, and it feels like it's there to enjoy until they add to it, which probably won't be long, because they've got a lot of people like actually playing it, haven't they? I mean, it's in news, so I don't really want to go into it, but it's absolutely. It's only been out 3 days. It's absolutely massive. I've not seen anyone that's like stupidly good at it or insanely good at it that you just can't beat them or whatever. And I still feel good at it because lots of people are shit at it because it's new. So I like it for now.
Yeah, well, people are still getting used to playing the classes and stuff, aren't they, as well? There is that. You're going to swap between the different legends and try and pick up which one.
Who do you two use? Who's your
I play as Bloodhound.
I thought you
quite
might.
Often. I've unlocked Mirage, which is the guy
I've
who
got
sends
Mirage.
out
I love him. He's great.
I got Mirage with the coins I got for being an EA Access member and getting 1,000 coins.
I got that.
And then I'm going to get the other guy, but I don't really care about the other guy. But Mirage, third. Is he called Gibraltar, the big guy with a shield?
Yeah. Something like that.
Him second, and then Bloodhound, the like tracker person first. I really like his ability when you can see through smoke and walls and stuff.
I bought Caustic with my free coins. I bought the toxic poison guy because they are fucking really useful if you get them right.
Yeah.
The only problem I've found is the way that the ones that you put down work. I was really hoping that they were a bit more throwable, but they don't really seem to be that throwable. They sort of, you set them down and they're massive, so you have to kind of hide them fairly well to be able to get someone to trigger them without seeing them in advance. But at least you can deter someone from going a certain way because they can see it. And if they get near it or clip it with a bullet, it's going to go off.
Yeah.
But my main tactic with them so far is if I'm like retreating from someone to reload or heal up or whatever, I'll go through a door and drop one on the other side of the door so that when they come in following me, it goes off. And that's kind of how I've been tactically trying to use those. Or if you've got one of those scenarios, you know, like where you and the other person are circling a rock or something, and it's quite a big rock, so you're kind of going backwards and forwards. I'll do something like drop one of those and then run round so that it goads them into following me and running into it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They're pretty useful if you get them right, but if you're on your own, they're not so useful. It's more useful if you're in a squad and you can hurry somebody into it.
Yeah, I've not actually been caught by one of them yet. Not a lot of people seem to put them down.
You haven't played against me then.
No, it's true. But I do know you can shoot the base of them to actually destroy them and not set them off, can't you? There's one.
Yeah,
there's one
I think
way
so.
you can
They are deactivated.
Yeah.
You can deactivate them. Sorry.
Yeah.
And the special's pretty good though. The big ability, because that's a proper toxic grenade thing that you can chuck.
Yeah.
And it's quite a big cloud as well, so that's good if you've got like a little squad hiding out in a room. You can pretty much clear the room with that, because it'll either kill them or they'll have to come out.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, he's one of the ones I've been going to first. I played a little bit with Gibraltar before I got him, because they're both the defenders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other one that I've played with, other than that, is Bangalore, the one that's
got the airstrike
assault character.
Yeah.
She's got the airstrike, and she's got the smoke grenades.
Yeah.
Yes, they're really useful. When you've got her on your team and someone's bloodhound, you can use her smoke and smoke everyone out so they can't see. But bloodhound's ability lets him see through it, and I love that combo on that game. It's absolutely brilliant.
There is some very good combos if you can get them right. Again, that's what the toxic cloud's good for when you're playing as caustic, because you can drop the toxic cloud and then you'd be able to see through them.
Does it not hurt teammates then?
You can't hurt teammates, I don't think.
I know you can definitely hurt yourself, because I accidentally dropped. I can't remember if it was Gibraltar's or Bangalore's, but they both got a very similar.
Yeah, I've done that.
Calling, and I've dropped that on my own head by accident by not throwing the smoke grenade far enough.
But it does say that he's immune to his own smoke, to his own gas, and it doesn't say anything about teammates.
We'll experiment and try it next time.
Yeah,
we'll go on together and we'll try it.
Yeah, it's fine by me.
So,
what do you use, James?
Mirage.
Is that it? Just Mirage?
Yeah, I started off with God, what's his name now? What's his name? Pathfinder guy.
The robot.
Bloodhound. The tracker.
No.
Pathfinder. He's called Pathfinder.
Sorry. Oh yeah. I started off with him because he cracks me up.
He's really useful. There's little beacons he can use.
Yeah.
And when he uses one, he finds out where the next circle's going to be.
Yeah.
Which is really useful because you can head to the next circle.
And you can set up
the white one.
You can set up the zip line.
That's clever. I didn't know about that one.
Yeah, there's stuff like that, and his grapples, right? Good.
Yeah.
And when you're camping out somewhere and you want a quick escape route, you've got one.
Yeah. It sounds pretty useful. I've not really played as him yet. He's one of the. Well, there's a couple I've not really played as. He's one of them. So, yeah. Any negatives so far from either of you? Because obviously we've talked about positives. So negatives.
A negative for me is the healing is very slow. I find, even just for the bandages.
Yeah, but it's only the same as putting like a bandage on in PUBG or something like that.
That's like 2.5 seconds. This takes a good I don't know how long exactly, but it's a longer process for less health.
I've not had too much of a gripe with healing yet, but then again, I've not really picked up a huge amount of meds when I've been running around, so that's possibly why.
I've not got a problem with the healing speed or anything. Have you used one of the purple items that fills your health and your shield up?
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called.
I've picked one up, but I didn't get to use it before I got destroyed.
That seems really... You know, if you were... I don't know what they are. There's like a potion or something you drink on Fortnite or something like that. It takes quite a while to drink it.
It's called.
Whatever it is that fills your health up and your shield or whatever it is. That seems to it takes like 15 seconds to drink one of them. This one only takes about 10 seconds. It feels really quick.
It's like using it.
But the heal, when another character heals you, that's quicker than actually using items.
Yeah,
so if
that's what I mean.
You don't need to
like the time.
That's easier to use your idea. Yeah, no.
That's the idea, though. That's what they're trying to get you to do. They're not. Yeah, they're trying to get you to be discouraged from using healing abilities and having a proper squad. Because if you've got a healer in your squad, that's why I've not been bothered about picking up meds. Because if you've got a team like Gibraltar. And then, I forgot her name, that healing girl with the...
I I know what you're on about.
It's escaping me. Lifeline, the one with the like little buns on her hair.
Yeah.
Her combined with someone like Gibraltar. Gibraltar can drop down a big shield that covers the team, and then she can pop the little robot thing that heals anyone nearby.
Yeah.
So
And
if you're in a
could still use
serious
syringe
firefight,
to make it quicker.
pop that and do that, then you're fully healed anyway, and you're protected while you're healing, or you're protected while you're picking up a down teammate, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's all about how you combine your squad, I think, because what you could do is you could easily go like Bloodhound, Bangalore, and Wraith. So that's like someone that can track, two people that can do a pretty intense amount of damage and both be sort of quite sneaky and quite aggressive at the same time.
Yeah.
And it's just a different way of doing it. So it depends on how you're playing. But it sounds like, James, you need a better healer in your group or not to take as much damage.
The 3 characters.
When you're playing with Kate, you need a better anything in your group.
You might as well be a man down.
Nice.
Oh, funny. Yeah, so negative sides we were talking about there before we sort of got sidetracked a bit. James is saying he doesn't like healing so much, but I think I've alleviated that problem. The only negative for me is the lack of game modes other than the 3v3. 3-man squads. I understand the need for a squad to a degree, but it would be nice if you had a little bit of an option of like duos, 3s, and 4s. Even if there was no solo mode because of the way the game works, it'd be a nice dynamic to have duos or something. Yeah. Things like that would be interesting. But, and to be honest, in terms of connectivity, things like that, I think it's been all right. I know it's had issues on a few occasions where you can't get out of a game and you get a little bit stuck, but that's the worst thing.
Yeah. I've not had any proper problems with it at all.
No, I've not noticed any.
So, I mean,
I've not come across many.
I can remember at a time you used to get disconnected from Fortnite, you won't get your experience or whatever. I've been disconnected while coming out of a game on that. Came back on, it's like, here's your 4,000 experience on that game that you just did, because we know you did it. And it was the first thing that came up before my menu came up when I reloaded game, because it proper crashed on me on way out, because it was struggling to get out as it was to get back to party. So it recovers itself quite well as well.
So we don't have that many negatives. I'm going to move on to the stats because it's in the news.
Stats.
So the stats of Apex Legends releasing is basically the fact that within 8 hours of being live, they'd hit 1 million unique players. Within 24 hours, they were up to 2.5 million. With a 600,000 concurrent player count, which is fairly decent for a game that's only live 24 hours. Obviously, free to play helps, but at the same time as there being 600,000 concurrent players online, there was also around a peak of 500,000 viewers on Twitch alone.
Jesus.
So that puts you at like 1.1 plus that are playing or watching, which is insane for a game that's been out 24 hours and had no serious hype or build up before its launch.
No, it's not. It's been rather quiet.
There were a couple of weird little leaky rumor type things going around. Sort of, I think it was Sunday night, Monday morning here in the UK before it launched. Yeah. But generally speaking, there was nothing until Monday where they said, so we've not been working on Titanfall 3, but people know we've been doing something. Here it is. Here's a fully released free-to-play game.
Yeah.
It's like,
crazy.
No beta, no nothing, just straight in. And generally speaking, as we've said, it works. Which is pretty good.
Really good.
Pretty
no
good.
Beta. Yeah. I'm really surprised there's no beta for it. That's what I'm surprised about.
Yeah.
No tests whatsoever.
I've got a feeling that some of there will have been alphas and tests and things, but they've probably been under the general NDA kind of, it's been completely under wraps because I can't go into detail of anything more than literally this, but I am part of a program where you effectively alpha test all sorts of stuff like games and apps across different platforms, and you cannot
You ain't
breathe
allowed
a
to say
single
shit.
word about anything. Not what it is, not when it was, anything. So that's as much as I'm even saying. I'm not even saying who the company is that I work with to do it, because that's probably going too far. But that's inviting to play whatever platform it might be and beta test at very rigid hours and stuff like that. So it'll have gone through those processes, but not anything further afield than that, I imagine.
Very close to
They
the chest,
have
but it's
said
done really
that
well
at some point they're going to try and get it cross-platform. But obviously the priority, I guess, is launching a game that works before adventuring with that, which is fair enough. But one thing they have said, interestingly, is that even if they do introduce cross-platform play, which it sounds like they would like to do, but haven't confirmed if they will or not, the thing that they won't be doing is cross-platform progression, which is a little odd, I think, compared to stuff like Fortnite that does allow it. And I can see that maybe because they've not got it in there from day one, you'd have an issue of someone that's playing it across two different platforms. Which progress do you take? Do you merge? But you'd have thought that you could just leave that down to the player and say like you can only have one profile now. We're merging them. Which of your 3 or 2 profiles do you want to take? And you just take your highest ranked one, or maybe even you could just merge your inventories. But
like keep your highest
Fortnite
levels
managed it,
and keep all your items or whatever, and it just gets merged together.
Yeah.
But they might then say, well, this person's got to level 50. So I think, is that the max level? I know there's an achievement.
As far as I'm aware, it's the max. That's the achievement, but I don't know if it's the actual max.
The problem is
max.
someone might get 50 boxes on Xbox, 50 boxes on PC, and then wherever else it's been released. And then it gets merged and they've got more because they've played it on 3 consoles, so that's unfair. That's the only reason they might not do that.
But that's their prerogative to play it across 3 consoles.
It is.
Like, it's a cross-platform game, so play it on all of them if you want to. I don't see why not. So, anyway, it is doing good, and there's a possibility of cross-platform in the future. Another one from this week is rumours of a PS5 backwards compatibility for all of the previous PlayStations started circulating. And this is because of a patent that has been filed by Sony themselves. It essentially explains some technology which is a way of the processor being able to mimic older iterations of processor, so that when you put something like a PS1 disc in the new PS5, it is tricked into thinking it's inside a PS1 because of the way that the processor will emulate the PS1 processor to be able to play the game. So rather than having a piece of software that emulates the console, it sounds like it's more processor technology, which would allow them to drop that processor technology in for each of the previous PlayStations, is the general gist of it without getting too techie.
It's a step up from what Xbox does at the minute with the 360 emulator app that they use. Yeah, it's just a step up.
And the PS2 and PS3 emulation type stuff that's currently going on the PS4.
Yeah,
because you can play certain games that have been crossed over into that emulator system, same as you can with the 360 games and the Xbox original games on Xbox One.
It'd let you
but the idea of this, I think, is that it would allow you to do anything. Anything so you have a disc for should work because of the way this works.
They'd cut their workload down, not having to convert games into emulator compatible or anything. And then they save a lot of time for themselves. Probably costs them more to make it, but then they'll charge more anyway. You can play every PlayStation game on this. Yeah, why not? I'll pay a bit extra.
The other thing that I'd be interested to see, though, is how it'd work with a digital purchase. I'd assume that it would be able to trigger the same processor reaction as putting a disc in, but I don't know. So it'd be interesting to see how that develops, if it does develop.
If they use it, if they're not just filing it to file it and not have someone else steal it.
It'll more than likely come around eventually, I'd imagine.
Probably,
Most things that Sony file come around eventually.
Yeah.
It's just there's nothing that says it'll definitely be in the PS5. It could be a completely separate device that is designed to emulate PS1, 2, 3, 4, and it's not actually linked to the PS5 at all.
Yeah,
it could be a separate thing.
USB
as like a
attachment.
PS Legacy or something, you'd call it, and it just plays everything up to 4. Don't know. You don't know where it's going to go because it's the technology of the processor that's being patented, nothing else. So you don't know what they're going to put that in. So have to see, and wait for the future. In other news, on the other side of the console wars, Xbox are launching cross-platform development kits that I believe they're calling XDK, the Xbox Development Kit, or the Cross Development Kit. I can't remember what it stood for. It's likely that they'll properly announce this at the Game Developers Conference, which is around the middle of the March. I believe it's the week starting the 18th.
That's near our birthday.
It is near our birthday, yes, James. So it's essentially something that was due to be saved until then, and I think copies of a brief for the schedule of GDC got out, which is how people have kind of found out about this. But in short, it sounds like that they will be releasing this development kit, which essentially allows Xbox and its ecosystem, its environment, to be used on PC, which it can to a degree now with the Xbox app. Switch, which it does within a game such as Minecraft, because we've kind of touched on that before with the fact that I get achievements for Minecraft on my Switch, and then separately for PC, and then separately for mobile as well. You get achievements on each one. Each one counts as a different game in the Microsoft Xbox ecosystem. So some of this technology already exists, but it sounds like what they're trying to actually do is not only get more of their own Xbox-based games on these other platforms, so that you might potentially be able to play other Xbox titles on something like a Switch or a mobile device. But it sounds like the other thing is to maybe try and link it with something that's not even theirs, so you could work within the Xbox ecosystem while playing something like Rocket League on your Switch. So it would mean that your progress on your Switch would count towards your Xbox achievements, which is a very bold thing to try and aim for, if that is the way that this goes. So
it opens up a lot of doors, doesn't it, really?
Yeah.
Mainly, that's
and
what it's doing.
It really puts that ball back in Sony's court about the whole crossplay thing.
Yeah.
So it sounds like Xbox are just embracing the fact that we want people within our ecosystem, and we don't mind as much if you are playing that game on something like a Switch, as long as you are interacting with our ecosystem.
Would it be like Xbox use Play Anywhere to let you play on the Switch and you don't have to buy a Switch version of the game? Is that what it's trying to do?
No, I don't think it is that, because that's not how Minecraft works. The way that Minecraft currently works is if you want to play online, they utilize the Microsoft service. But you can also sign into your Xbox account and earn achievements for Minecraft on Nintendo Switch, as it's referred to in the system, and sit and play it solo if you want to. So I think it's more that of linking more games. Basically, the same thing that happens when you put a game in your Xbox would happen if you put a game in your Switch or downloaded a game onto your phone or installed a game on your PC.
Yeah.
So that more things... Because, again, it's something we've talked about before. It's already happening a little bit in the sense that I get weird questions from time to time when people ask me, how are you playing that game that I know is for PC only on your Xbox? And it's just purely that I'm on my PC with the Xbox ecosystem open. because it lets me capture stuff if I want to record something or take a screenshot and save it into my Xbox library. So that's the reason it runs. So it just sounds like more expansion on that, I guess. But we're not going to know properly until the Game Developers Conference in March, because that's when the news is supposed to actually be presented. So we'll know more then, realistically.
In a month and a bit.
Just over a month now. And then just sticking with Xbox for the last bit for this week, they have officially processed a rename from Microsoft Studios to Xbox Game Studios, which they were saying this was on Inside Xbox, I think last night it was on, but they were basically saying that they want to kind of enhance the fact that, we don't just want to be about PC games or just about console games anymore. We want to spread out with the things that we've been doing on mobile and the work we've done with Switch and so on. And we've got these new studios and we want to become Xbox games, which I guess in a way makes sense what they're saying, but referring to it as Xbox games didn't immediately make sense, because I was thinking, well, that to me says Xbox console. But I guess if this ecosystem thing is to go ahead and they're trying to spread out the Xbox name to be more than just a console, and Xbox becomes almost a gaming platform like a Steam of this world, but wider spread, if that's what they're trying to aim for, where people will buy and process games through them, but play them on multiple platforms and not just an Xbox piece of hardware. Maybe going with Xbox games is the right way forward if that's what they're trying to ultimately get to.
It kind of is. It's an Xbox app in your PC, and I know you still use Steam or whatever else, but if you're playing an Xbox-related game for your achievements or whatever, you still play on the Xbox system, really. You've got to have it open. So it is still playing an Xbox game.
Well, yeah, if you play something like Forza Horizon or something.
Exactly, or Gears of War system. Or something.
But the current Xbox app can work like Steam in the sense that I can put World of Warcraft into the current Xbox app to use it as a launcher.
I do use that as a launcher more than I use Steam, to be honest.
That's because you don't play any Steam games, though.
Exactly, though. But I do actually do that as well. But it's not so much on the phone or on your Switch or anything, but it could be with the new dev kits, depending on what they actually end up doing with them.
I don't think we'll learn much more until all this kind of develops over the next few months and see where it goes.
Yeah.
So that is that. And that is it for the news, unless either of you has anything to bring up.
No, not really.
No.
It's time to play a game.
It's game time. Yay! So new year, new games. I hosted the last game. James won. So the scores are pretty simple right now. It's 1-0 to James. As it works, last to 10 does a forfeit. Still need to think of one that can solidly stick with James and he can do, because James lost last year. Anyone who doesn't know, James's turn to host this week. He's taken it upon himself to do that, so we are going to play James's game. I will hand over to him and he can talk to us about his game.
Okay, we're doing countdown, boys.
Yeah, we know.
We know.
Yeah, it's the paper I alluded to, everyone.
The paper. That fit quite well. So yeah, I've got 10.
10 what?
How I usually do it, for those who don't know,
10
is
Scrabbles,
I get game titles.
Countdowns. wrong game.
I get game titles and I jumble them up, read out the letters, and it's up to these two to try and work it out as to what the game title is. What's it called again? Is it an algorithm?
Algorithm?
Anagram. Anagram.
Well, it's not really an anagram either, because it doesn't always spell something. I know you try and make it spell something,
I do my best.
but
But yeah, if you want to go get pen and paper at home, do so now. We'll wait.
Or if you're on the bus to work, just listen. That's cool too.
or what you could do is just pause it. We don't have to wait. Continue on to question one, James.
Yeah,
I would get him to sit and wait. So who wants to go first out of you both?
Don't care.
I'll go first.
Thank you, Joshua. So Joshua gets one answer. If he gets it wrong, Thomas gets a go at it. So make sure you write them all down, okay?
Yeah.
Right. So, number 1. Oh, I best explain as well. There's a theme to all of these. They all connect in some way. After the first few, you might work it out. But obviously don't say it because it might help the other person as well.
Lego.
Guns.
Okay. Number 1 is TITFORNE. Start the clock.
Fortnite.
It didn't.
It's
Yes,
Fortnite.
It's Fortnite.
Are they all battle royales by any chance?
If he's managed 10 battle royales, he's done fairly well, I think.
Yeah,
They are. Yay! I got a compliment. So it's 1-0.
So
to
basically,
Joshua.
6 of these games are going to be utter dog shit.
Pretty much, yeah. Number 2 is BUTCLOAK. Start the clock.
Book clerk.
Yeah, good in it.
I can't tell what that says. It's hard when you're staring at them sometimes.
What, the
Oh,
book
Blackout.
clerks?
God. It's not called that.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah. Well, it's the name of the Battle Royale mode.
Yeah, alright, I'll let you
yeah.
off.
Right. I'll just wait for the clock to finish.
Just go there.
There we go. Joshua,
Yes.
yours is HELLINGCUT. Start the clock. Bum, bum, bum. Hellingcut.
Yeah, I know it says Helen Cut now, but... I think I might know what it is.
Out of the two of you, I don't expect you to get this, Thomas.
I mean, because me and you have played it.
No, I don't know.
I'm pretty
that.
sure you played
That's
it
where I
with me.
lose.
You don't know at all?
I don't know at all now.
Not even a guess?
Cutting hell?
Come on, he's had his 30 seconds.
I don't know. No, I don't know. I've
I've
already said it.
Can I tell you what I think
What
it
is
is?
it?
If I've written it down right, it's the culling.
It is indeed the
It
culling.
is, yeah.
Well done.
Fuck.
2-1, and it's now your question as well, Thomas. So it is DEFNYONSNAILS. Start the clock.
What?
That's right. It says Deaf Neon Snails.
Says Def Nion.
No. Nion sales. Or snail. You said snails or sales. Is there an N in it?
Snails.
There's a second N.
Yes, there's
Yeah,
a, there's a
there should be
third
3
N.
N's. Answer, please.
Defy Slinon.
Incorrect. Joshua, any idea?
No, not a clue.
Are you both passing on it?
Gonna have to. I ain't got a clue.
Well,
what
yeah,
that is
because neither
at
of us
all.
can get it right.
I was going to give you both a second go at it, but it's Islands of Nine.
Oh, that's the one that... yeah, I know which one that is. I'd have never got that from those letters. The Y would
You've
have
only got one I.
because that's... No, it's spelled with a Y. That's where the Y comes
Or
from.
N-Y-N.
NYNE.
Yeah.
Islands of Nine.
All right,
I can see it now. You said it. So that's 2 shit ones.
What?
That's 2 shit ones you've done so far. The culling and that one.
Right.
Let's continue to see what the other 2 good ones are after Fortnite and Blackout.
The next one is Joshua's, is it?
Yeah, that one was mine.
Right.
Yes.
And it's still 2-1, Thomas. So Joshua, REMYAREOLLA. Start the clock.
Film Royale.
Oh,
Yeah.
well done.
I was just about to say I think I've got it. And then you went, Realm Royale!
I didn't even write all letters
All right,
down.
I've got as far as that's 3 good ones so far.
Thanks.
I say good ones. Fortnite's questionable for me, but I can't argue with how popular it is. So
Yeah.
Imagine the length of H1Z1 if I'd have put that in. How could have I hid that? Z1H1. Anyway, Thomas.
I thought you were trying to tell me that was the next question. Then like, really?
Yours is HANDRI. Sorry, I've read that wrong. HANDWRIT EJECTORP. Start the clock.
What? Oh, Project
CTORP.
Darwin Project, whichever way around it said.
Yeah.
I can't remember which way around it is. I was trying to work out what the J was as soon as you said J, and then the end of it just gave it me, because it basically still says project, but backwards, or very close to project.
Oh, shit, yeah.
So as I was reading it backwards, yeah.
God damn it.
Didn't even need a clock.
That's 3-2 to Thomas. Joshua.
I'm trying to decide if I want to put that down as a good one or not, because I do quite enjoy that one.
Your call.
I'm going to say that's a good one. So you've got 4 good ones so far, James.
What I'm going to say is I know for a fact Joshua won't get this next one. Is it
his turn as well?
Yes,
isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, it's my turn.
So, OURVULVASSIRELF. Start the clock.
Oh, I'm still writing them down and you're shouting start the fucking clock.
I just heard him go, what the fuck is this?
I know, I heard him say it too, James, because my ears work as well. I don't like envy him on this one. I'm trying to work out what all the V's are.
Any idea?
Not really, no.
I
know one word from it. I've got one word.
You don't want to say it, though, in case it gives it away.
I've got a guess
No,
in
exactly.
case I think I've written it down wrong.
All right. Well, I'm going to pass it over to Thomas anyway, because Josh's not got an answer.
Give it him.
I don't know if I've written it down wrong, but Soul Survivor? Or Soul Survivors, maybe, if I've got enough
Incorrect.
S's.
Do we get
It
another go?
is. No, I'm not going to give you another go at it. Unless you think you've got
It's
it.
got survive in it.
Yeah, well,
It's
that's
got
what I've
Survive
got,
in
but
it.
then there's like an OUL. I'm thinking like Soul Survivor, Soul Survivors.
I've got it.
Go on.
Is it Save Ourselves?
No.
No way.
All right.
Thomas, do you want one final go, since we had one?
No, it's fine.
It is, and I know Mr. Mitchell's going to like this one, Mr. Craig Mitchell. Rules of Survival.
Oh, that's the fucking PUBG ripoff on mobile, isn't it?
Yep.
Oh.
It is.
Damn it.
It's
That's going down as a shit one. You're still only on 4 good ones.
Right.
And that's 7. So you've got 3 more, James, to pull out at least one good one to outdo my estimation of 4 good ones.
What's the score? 3-2 still, isn't it? You both passed 2.
I don't know. That's your
it's
job.
3-2.
I'm just marking down which ones are good and which ones are shit.
It's 3-2.
Right. So Thomas, yours is AGEDSPLEENX. Start the clock.
It's Spleen X. Fucking hell.
It's like spandex, but spleen X. And it's aged.
Shut up, I'm trying to think. Just fucking love this.
Any ideas?
I'm trying to think what has got an X in it.
Let me know when you pass.
No, I've not been able to get anything.
All right. I'm going to pass it over to Josh, and I think he's going to upset you, Thomas.
You're gonna hate yourself, Thomas. It's Apex Legends.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Of course it is.
We spoke about it for about half an hour earlier.
I thought as soon as you said, I'm trying to think what's got an X in it, you'd go, oh!
I did.
But
I did as well. I was like, it's in front of us.
It
on
never
the screen.
came. I couldn't. There's no physical way to hide that X either, so it's just right on the end.
I can't believe that the X didn't give it me.
Yeah, like.
I'll give you that. That's 5 good ones. You managed more than 4. Well done.
Thank you.
There's still 2 left as well.
Right. So.
Yeah, Margot.
3-3, and it's Joshua's turn. And your letters
What I
are
won't get, I'm guessing.
A R R A N G E F I R E F E E. Start the clock.
That's quite a good shuffle.
The fuck?
That is quite a good shuffle.
Arrange
I don't know what a fire
fee
fee is.
It's a
but
fee for
I hope
fire.
arrange one.
You gotta pay to get fire. Fire fee. And you gotta arrange
This
it.
has got to be a shit one. I can't think.
I've got a guess.
What'd you
Go
get?
for it then.
I'll check it.
You still got a couple of seconds. Yes.
Firing range?
No.
Oh, I can see where you're going with it. Yeah, I see where you're going with it.
I couldn't check out letters in time, so I didn't have a chance to check it properly, but
Hang on a minute.
that's my best guess.
Free fire range.
No.
That works, doesn't it? Free fire.
It does.
Oh no,
There's an A.
I mean, I've got an extra A.
Yeah. A free
fire ranger.
A free fire
A
range.
free fire
A
range.
free fire range.
I should have done that as my thing. Are you both giving up?
Yes, we're clearly giving up.
Yeah,
Right.
I've no idea what that is.
It is Garena Free Fire.
What the fuck is that?
I don't
That's
know.
a shit one.
It's
That is definitely going down as a shit
it's a
one.
battle
What the fuck
royale
is that?
game, and that is all I know. So the last one, which is Thomas's, it isn't it?
Yeah, this to decide
if
if
he
it's
gets it
more
right
good or
as well.
more good than shit ones.
All right.
What's the score?
It's 3-3. So this is
It's
potentially
If I
for
get
win.
this, I win.
And if not, we're gonna have to do a tiebreaker, which is
Just give me my
interesting.
letters,
Something
bro.
James has not planned for.
It's not because you never draw on these.
What about to?
So your letters
Unless he
are
gives me PUBG. GBUP.
your letters are Z11H.
Is that legit?
No,
Please tell me that's
I'm
legit.
joking. I'm
Oh.
joking.
I actually wrote that down as well, just in case.
Why would you need to write it down?
Just for the consistency of my list, if I ever look back at it.
All right, okay.
I like to keep these and look back at them to reference the good times and the bad.
Your letters are IMFLYINGEUROS. Start the clock.
I'm flying euros. Is that genuinely what it is?
That's why I saved it till the last. Not with Brexit, you're not.
Ring of Elysium.
It is.
Yeah,
I really didn't expect you to get that one.
I played it on PC and I was trying to work out where the Y went.
It flew to the Euros.
Oh my god, that one's actually all right. That's like basically the snowy PUBG map.
So have I got
constantly.
5?
You got 6 actually. There.
Nice, and that's
I'll
not
give
even
you Ring of
including
Elysium as an all right one.
That's not even including PUBG.
PUBG's dead, bro. Does that mean I win?
Win.
Was that for the win or for
won.
the tie?
That was for the win.
No, that was for the win.
So thank you. You've prevented me making a tiebreaker. So
Oh, I wish I got it wrong now. Oh, I better play my music, can't I?
yeah, enjoy your music.
So, what does that do to the ever complicated scores?
Who knows?
It means I've got 1 win and James has got 1 win. Done.
Next
Joshua's
week's
getting
game's
it.
mine, so one of you will be on 2.
Oh yeah, I never thought about it like that.
Joshua
Oh, Joshua.
is getting another bath of
I
ravioli.
do all the time.
We really need to think of a forfeit for James, unfortunately. We really do.
Can I like
He needs
rub
to-
hot dogs on my nipples or something?
I don't know what that means.
Well, you get a hot dog.
Considering you're suggesting it, no. It sounds like something you do for fun.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna move on now. The music's died out.
That'd be nice.
Joshua, you can do this because James did the game.
Okay then. Don't
He
know where this
was
question
not
came from.
ready.
Thomas, did you just make it up?
No, I stole it.
You stole it. Where have you stolen it from?
Another podcast. I should give them
Dirty
credit. I
shame
suppose,
on your
seeing
voice.
seeing as I stole it. Yeah, what happened was I saw another podcast. They're called Reset over in Australia, and they tweeted this question out for their episode last week. So I answered it and said, "I'm going to borrow this for our podcast."
We'll give it you back in a week's time.
Yeah. So sadly, they didn't answer
So
it
we've
back.
actually-
Boo.
Oh. Well, maybe if they've had this question pop back up on their feed, they'll see, and they'll respond to you, and you'll be friends with them. But yes, this week's question was stolen from another podcast called Reset from Australia, which I've just found out. It's best games you've never played that everyone gives you that look when you say you haven't played it.
Yeah, that look
Go on,
of
James,
like
you got one.
as if you haven't played that game.
Skyrim.
Yeah.
James is basically every game ever.
Let
'Cause he
me
doesn't play anything except FIFA.
let me try and list them. Skyrim, Fallouts,
Yeah.
90% of the Assassin's Creeds, Elder Scrolls. Do they count?
Skyrim is Elder Scrolls, James. How many times do we have to have this conversation?
Blackout.
You're just not listening to me anymore. Are you just ignoring my rage?
Do you even have any, Thomas?
What? And I said when I answered the question, I said Kingdom Hearts because that always gets like quite a lot of like hype around it, and I've never played any of them, so I don't really care. And do you know what? Now I think about it now, since I answered it for their podcast, I've actually since thought of 2 more. One sparked by somebody else's answer, and one just sitting here now. But I've barely ever played a Star Wars game. Very few Star Wars games have I played.
The recent ones are absolute dog shite. Just saying.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I'm just talking like stuff like Knights. I did kind of play them a bit, but I never like got ridiculously into them like everybody else did. Because Knights of the Old Republic is like the best Star Wars game ever. And even though I like the films, I'm just not that into Star Wars games.
I like the old ones.
So that's probably a significant one for me. And then the other one that was sparked by somebody else's answer is Gears of War, i.e. I played the original one and I played 2, and then I've never really been bothered with that since.
Same.
I know the storyline and things like that. Like, I've kept up to date with them and I know them, but that's probably one of the bigger sort of franchises where everyone who owns an Xbox is like, oh my god, as if you've not played all the Gears of War. And I'm like, well, I just didn't enjoy them after the second one.
You're not that big on Halo, really, either, are you?
Same.
I played most of the Halos.
I played 1, 2, 3.
Somebody mentioned Halo, and that made me think, Gears of War, that's the other one that is like the you must play this if you own an Xbox game. But yeah, I never played. The thing that I never enjoyed Halo for was the online. I never played Halo online at any point.
I love the Forge online and the little games you could make, and then you'd play it privately with all your friends.
Yeah, I used to do shit like that, but I never like properly played Halo PvP competitively or whatever you want to call it. So I guess that counts as well, maybe. Don't know. You decide. Joshua, what about you?
I can't really think of any. I don't play Far Cry. Everyone got excited about Far Cry 5. I'm just not bothered about it.
I own Far Cry 5, and I've still not started it.
You're not missing out.
I've never really been that big on Far Cry. I know they're good games, and I've tried playing them. I just don't get into them at all. So I just don't play them.
And FIFA's a big
and
one for
I
you.
really like the first Dragon Age game, but I can't play any others. I can't give it more than a few hours to others.
Dragon Age Inquisition's good. I think that one really divides people, though. People either really like it, like me, or they fucking hate it.
I really want to like it, but I can't, and I don't know why. I don't know what the problem is.
Go back and try it again.
Same with the second one. I've played the second one more than once to try and play it, and I can't. But if I go back and play the first one, I can play that quite easily. I don't know why at all. It's just slight differences in them make me just not want to play them. I can't think of any others off the top of my head at all.
Let's read people's suggestions and see that's what
people's suggestions. First on the list is Craig Mitchell, who James mentioned earlier. He's on about the Halo series. He actually has the Master Chief Collection. On the flip side, what's the best game that you've played, but when you tell everyone how good it is, you get that face? So yeah,
that's the comment that made me think Gears, because I know how much Craig Mitchell played Gears of War. But on the flip side I'm going to put this out there right now for you as well, Craig. I don't think you can do it on I don't think you can do it on Halo 1, but any of those games that have a campaign that you can play co-op, I will happily play through with you. I don't give a shit about multiplayer, but if you want a session of playing through Halo on co-op, I will happily play them with you because I want the achievements from the Master Chief Collection that I don't have.
If you would also like to hire a driver for the ending mission on level 3, on Halo 3, I am your man.
I'm available. No, I'm available for that. So I'll get to the end of the level.
Yeah. Chief, look out!
Oh no, James is driven off the edge again.
Gotta start it again. Fucking loving it.
What was the other part of his question, Joshua?
The other part of his question, it's basically the same question the other way around. So on the flip side, what's the best game that you've played? When you tell everyone how good it is, you get that face.
I tell everyone how good it is.
Blackout.
Used to be Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, but that's just because it's...
Do you remember when Sea of Thieves, like, everyone hated on it when it first launched? I was like, this game's amazing. I've been playing it for 18 months. And everyone was like, there's nothing in it. I'm like, yes, there is. You just got to go look for it. And they're like, this is boring as fuck. And I'm like, no, this game's amazing. So probably that era of my life.
So this time last year, yeah?
Yeah, basically this time last year. Some people look at me a bit gone out when I say I like things like Guild Wars. I'd say that to you, Joshua.
What Guild Wars is.
I don't.
No,
or people don't.
Don't always
People
know what
do.
Guild Wars is.
That's quite well streamed on Twitch and stuff. People
No, I
watch
know.
that.
I mean, if you're talking to anyone,
anyone,
if you just met someone
anyone
in the street that said they play games, and you're like, oh yeah, what do you play? And you say, oh, well, I play Guild Wars. They
Just
might
sat
not
next
know
to
about
Brenda
it.
on bus.
Yeah, just Brenda on bus. Brenda's just like, yeah, I play games all the
Hey,
time.
Brenda, do you play Guild Wars? Because I play Guild Wars. No, I don't, crazy man. Go away.
Do you know what mine actually is for this?
Go on.
RuneScape.
Oh my god.
It
Yeah, but you have
actually
a
is.
weird cult of 12-year-olds like yourself that enjoy it.
It actually is, though.
Unfortunately, some of those people are our listeners. That's why we get them back, is because they love the banter between me and you about hit. The people who hate
got
RuneScape, like me, enjoy my side, and the people who love RuneScape, like
Tell you what,
love your side. And they love the discord between us.
you throw as many hits as you like, because I have plenty high hit points. 126, bitch.
Did you like that that meme that I sent you of the guy talking to girls on Tinder saying,
Yeah.
Can you go
Do you
be
want to
my
be my
mining
runner?
whore?
That's basically what Joshua was for me when we were playing RuneScape.
Yeah.
He was my runner.
Except James gave me a hell of a lot of money and I didn't deliver.
Yes.
No, actually, I did. I gave you a lot of shit.
Do you know? I've just
Anyway.
realised.
Yep.
Just going back very quickly to something I said. I used the word Discord then, as in the Discord between me and James. Of like Discord means a very strong disagreement between two people. So he loves RuneScape. I hate it. Why did Discord the app for game chat? Then again, no, it all makes
Because
sense now.
Discord is also a crazy
But
scene of
it's
events.
just a place for people to argue over video games. It's fine. Doesn't matter. I've answered my own question.
No, it's just where there's loads of
I am
people
so
talking at the same
lost.
time, so it's just Discord.
James, the word
James doesn't know the
Discord
definition.
means to have an argument with someone and a debate with someone. I was saying, why have Discord named their piece of software after that when it's supposed to be about communities and playing games together? And then I was like, oh, because people are gamers and all they do is argue with each other.
There's also
Now
a
it
character
makes sense.
There's a character on My Little Pony TV show.
Bringing out the big guns of knowledge here.
Friendship is magic.
My little
Pictures.
pony, my little pony.
Next person on the list.
I love how Joshua tried to do that with such authority. Like, there's also a character on My Little Pony who says...
I just wanted to shut you up so I could move on to the next person.
Talking about
Next
My
up
Little
is
Pony
Nat.
is not the way to achieve that.
Next person on the list is Nat, who says her answer is God of War, and my reason is because I'm not interested. Which is a damn good reason to not give a
It's
shit.
very much fair enough.
That is fair, to be honest. That you can't even say much else about it. It's just completely fair.
No,
Moving on.
I have no argument to that. I just don't like them. Okay.
Next up is Dan Smith. Any of the Diablo games. Thomas is not going to like the rest of this comment. Didn't look for me and still don't. But everyone's like, "Oh my god, Diablo!" Just makes me think, nope, even more. Okay, I can't read that properly.
Yeah, he sits and watches me stream it.
Does he?
I'll read it with the correct tone of voice for you, Joshua.
Go
Any
on,
of the
then.
Diablo
Yeah, go on.
games, they didn't look for me and still don't. But everyone's like, "Oh my god, Diablo!" Just makes me think, nope, even more. As in, he's like, they didn't look like they were for me. He just abbreviated the sentence.
Right. I see.
Just a quick
Yeah,
one.
he does.
Just to
He
every
does watch me
listener,
play Diablo 3 sometimes when I play it, but I think that's mainly to talk to me.
just for every listener
Dan.
out there that does send things in. Me and Joshua do sometimes read these, so just word them so we can read them, please. Thanks.
Did you also not understand what
that
I was
is now
reading?
part of the fun and games of it all, James. I don't think you realise, but people have probably started writing these in such a way that it fucks you two over because they know that the show has transitioned to a point where I'm tired of talking and people are tired of hearing my voice, so I make you two do this bit.
It hurts. I could barely say people's fucking names.
We've missed a little bit of Dan's. He says, same as Final Fantasy, looks good, but never played any.
I played the one with Tidus, and that's it.
Tidus.
With the...
Is that his...
You played Final Fantasy 9?
Did I?
Yeah, you played 9.
Which one's 9?
Or Zidane?
9's Vivi and Zidane.
PlayStation 1. Steiner.
Oh, yeah, I did play that one. Never finished it, though.
No, you're not dedicated to a game enough to finish it unless it's FIFA.
It did have 4 discs, Joshua. I don't think James has ever got through
cut me some slack.
Game with more than 1 disc.
I'd have finished the first disc and been like,
dedication.
That were alright, that. And then going on to a different game.
It's like, weird ending, but...
That's exactly
Can't
what
wait for the next one.
And then you pass it second disc. Like, oh my god, it follows straight on.
James fucking played 1 disc of Final Fantasy 9 and thought it were over. That's why he then played 10 thinking it was a follow-up. And he's like, what? This doesn't make sense after the last game.
Why is this guy not got a tail anymore?
Oh god, that's brilliant.
Which one's the one that's got the underwater football thing?
That's 10. That's Tidus.
10.
Which is what you're talking about.
That's what I got.
Which is why I was making the joke that you went from 9 playing 1 disc thinking it was a cliffhanger to 10 and then getting confused about what was going on. That is still one of my favourite Final Fantasy intros out of the lot that I've played, by the way, that one. With the Rammstein music and the underwater... I always forget what they call it. What do they call it?
All you need is Echo the Dolphin and zombies.
Oh,
and then
don't fucking start this again.
No.
Here are the callbacks.
I've already slid the Halo 3 thing and this in.
Oh, what do they call it? It's not so much
remember.
stupid like Sphere Ball, is it?
Sphere Ball?
No. I'm not kidding. I'm Googling it. No, I'm not carrying on with any more of these incomings until I've Googled this. Final Fantasy 10.
Do you remember Josh's badminton face?
Underwater.
Yeah. The problem is he's the one that reads the things out, so now we can't continue until he's.
Yeah, now you've got to wait, bitches.
We'll fill a gap.
That's what she
Go on,
said.
then, fill a gap. Go on.
Done it.
Blitzball.
Blitzball. There we go.
Blitzball.
It's called
Yes,
Blitzball.
Thank you. That is one of the best intros to Final Fantasy 10. Anyway, continue.
Deja and Tender will know of Will Hodkid.
Just
will.
Resident Evil, just because I've never been a fan of the horror game, and probably more shocking is Zelda. Grew up without owning a Nintendo console, so I never got the chance, really.
That is a big one, that.
That's quite a big one, but it's also a very fair reason to not have played it.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't get an N64 until after we had a PlayStation, did we? I mean, you played one somewhere else, hadn't you, Thomas, at some point?
No, we had them at the same time.
Yeah. Pretty sure Nintendo's the first one we got.
PS1 first.
We might have got the PS1 first, but...
PS1 first.
We definitely had something.
Yeah, I can understand Resident Evil. I've not played them all. I played 5 mainly, or whichever one it were that I played with you a lot, Thomas.
Chris?
It were 5, weren't it?
Yeah, Chris and Shiva.
Yeah, I think so. It was 5, the one we played together.
That's the main one that I've put any effort in.
Zelda's another one for me, though, because I only
really
properly played Wind Waker.
Yeah, but again, that's... I don't know, that's about your age as well, more than anything. Like,
Yeah, because I had a GameCube when you were probably about 10.
Like, I can understand not playing the earlier ones, because I never played the original until way after I'd played the others.
Yeah.
And that was just purely because I didn't have it.
My first Zelda was Wind Waker, but it came with Master Quest and Ocarina on a disc, which is why I've never played Majora's Mask, because I've never had that. It came on Wind Waker came in a gold box, special edition, with Ocarina of Time and Master Quest on a GameCube.
But we
disc
had
to
Ocarina of
play
Time
on
for the
GameCube.
64.
I never played it on the 64.
It must have just
I
been me
never
that played it then. That's so
never ever
weird.
played it. I didn't play that until I'd finished Wind Waker.
Wow,
I
did
just
not
used to
realise
sit-
that.
So
Sail around on the
I had
boat.
no idea.
We definitely used to have
Yes, you
Ocarina of
did.
Time on the 64 anyway, that's all I'm saying. Putting it out there.
Yeah. Next up, then, after Will, it's Dummy 2008, Paul Carter.
Hi, Paul.
Paul.
Yes, it's one of the many Pauls. I think Resident Evil, Silent Hill, and Final Fantasy games, I've owned them, just never got round to playing them whilst I had them, and then lost them in console upgrades. So never played them.
That's a big trilogy
Yeah,
of
big three.
games to buy them all
Yeah,
and then
it's
not
like-
play any of them.
Silent Hill I can maybe get because
It's-
that's not as massive as the other two, but
Yeah, but Resident Evil and Final Fantasy, that's a lot of games.
yeah.
Well, it's like,
Yeah,
what,
that's true.
eight core Resident Evil games, and depending on how far back you
Up to
go.
15.
Yeah, tons of Final Fantasy
Up
games.
to 15. That's not including 10-2, 13-2, and all the other twos.
14 online, 14 Realm Reborn, because there's two versions of 14.
And then for a little while on PS2, when Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 came out, you played them, but you weren't Thomas, so you played them because, Disney and Final Fantasy.
Saying
Yeah,
onwards.
onwards.
Disney is not a good enough reason for me to play Kingdom Hearts. Like, oh,
You do realise-
Disney. Yeah, I get there's Disney characters in it. I just don't want to play it. Goofy impression. Move on.
Dan Smith is next. Just thought of another one. FIFA, I've owned them but never played any of them, mainly because FIFA is a waste of time. I've never really understood football. 22 men chasing after a ball. Great.
I think that's just
I agree with
designed
you,
to
Dan.
trigger.
I don't really care for football. And also, I've owned all of them eventually and still put about an hour into each of them, and that's it.
Fuck you, Dan.
Move on.
JNK on Twitter had a big brain up in 2012 to remove a big old tumour which left me with severe motion/balance issues. As such, I've missed out on all the VR stuff, and I'm not happy. I'm not a happy bunny. I do not blame you.
That is a
Deep.
fucking insane thing to have to go through as well. Just to point that out, like, it's a very valid reason to have not
Yeah.
played any VR games, but
Yeah,
it's also very crazy to have been through something like that. I did also just sort of say, I hope all things are good now, and said, yeah, generally. So, but apparently JNK, from what I found, does something called a game a week, where he makes just mini little games. Some are not flash games, but like web-based games. Some are like download executables. But he tries to make a game every single week, just like a little silly platformer or puzzle game or something, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to go try some of his games.
Nice.
Just thought I'd point that out.
yeah, it's definitely cool.
I found this out off the back of getting into a conversation slightly after.
Is it not a slightly good thing to have a lot of VR stuff now to go back and do? Because
Well,
it's
no, because the
only
point is
gradually
he
gotten more and
can't
more
play
out.
them because of the
It can't.
problems.
Oh yeah, motion and balance.
Yeah, the
yes.
problems with the motion and balance and
Understood.
stuff. That just like throw you
Yeah.
completely. Like some people, even without going through what JNK has been through, even without that, some people can't deal with the false reality of VR, and it gives everyone
like
VR
the guy
sickness.
on that, like the guy on that video you made me watch of someone in a mall that put it on and got tripped up or something.
He kept falling backwards because it was trying to make it look like he was riding a roller coaster or something. And he kept falling backwards, but some people
Yeah.
naturally can't like compute it, and it's like people that get seasick or car sick. It's just your body can't compute what it's seeing as like the motion. So
Yeah.
I can understand that, but obviously for J&K, it's unfortunately for slightly different reasons. So
It is indeed.
We share the same initials,
We'll
though,
have to
so
move
it's
on
fine.
to
Okay, James.
How do you know they're his initials?
I don't know.
What, is it a he or a she, J&K? Do we know?
Well, I keep saying he. I am assuming it's a he. I shouldn't really assume, but I have.
You know what
assumed
happens
he.
when you
His
assume?
or her initials.
I don't know why. And yes, I am assuming J and K is initials, but again, I don't know for definite.
Next up is Smith88. There's loads of me. There's loads for me. Off the top of my head, Final Fantasies, Resident Evils, Metal Gear Solids. Never played a Zelda game either. I'm sure there's
Another
plenty
Zelda.
more.
Final Fantasy seems to be coming up a lot in these as well. And Resident Evil, for that matter. Final Fantasy and Resident Evil.
Evil's definitely one of mine. Metal Gear Solid, I've played some, but not all.
I stopped with the more recent
I
ones.
like Zelda, so.
Yeah, I stopped after Snake Eater, which is the third one, isn't it? I've not really played any since then.
Next up, let's see how many more times Final Fantasy comes up. Chris Evans, Final Fantasy, all of them. I hear they're great, but my God, they look dull. I think I tried to start 7 once and lost the will to live after about 10 minutes. Turn-based combat works for Pokemon and nothing else.
And Legend
Wow.
of the Dragoon.
Chris, I ask
And
you
Legend of the
this.
Dragoon.
You are a Switch owner. I am fully aware of that. Have you played Octopath Traveler?
Octopath.
That would be my question, to find out your opinion of that. Because that is very
Have you
reminiscent
played
of the oldest...
Dragon Quest on the computer?
Dragon Quest, yeah, I played Dragon Quest.
Do you remember Dragon Quest, James?
I remember playing
That
as
was
a
good
policeman.
turn-based game.
That's
That's
you're
not-
on about the text. You're
Nope.
about the type to play games, aren't you?
Yeah.
Well, you used to be a policeman. You used to have to go
Next
solve
up-
a murder.
There's been a murder.
Next up, as I remember from last week, it's Louis Nolith, not Lewis.
Yeah,
Is that
it
right?
is Louis. Yeah,
It's Louis. It is Nolith, isn't it? I am saying.
I
that bit.
assume
The surname has
discuss
been
that
added.
bit.
Next question for you, Louis. How do we say your surname? Thanks. Half-Life 2. I remember a time where this was all anyone would talk about. Missed the hype
Yeah.
train. I've never played
Yeah.
Half-Life 2.
The problem with Half-Life 2, well, Half-Life in general,
It's
I
very-
guess, is you're very limited to your access of it, because from memory, originally the only way to play it was PC. Obviously, since I know it did, you got the orange box thing on 360 and PS3 as well. But I'm pretty sure for a long time it was just PC only.
Yeah,
And
just PC only.
it's one of those things as well where it's sometimes hard to go back to. Like,
Yeah.
I've just thought of another game.
oh, go on then, what?
Habbo Hotel.
Oh, fuck it, that's not a game. That's a way of life. Do you know what? I've literally just checked Half-Life 2 to see how long it took to come to console, but it looks like it did come to console at the same time. So I'm probably just thinking.
All right, then.
I'm probably just thinking original Half-Life more than anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next on the list then is Baby G, Glen Green, G Green 93, blend off the green, because you got rid of 3 of his names instead of just one of them.
I just couldn't be asked to type them all.
My answer this week has a pattern to it, as I've maybe played some of the games for 2 hours tops, but I've watched people play them. Resident Evil, Fallout, Elder Scrolls, any Final Fantasy other than 789, Silent Hill, and World of Warcraft. You sat and watched someone play World... Oh, there's more to it, actually. Also, you are a racing guy, Big King, so whatever happened to MotorStorm on the PlayStation, that game was the shit.
So, yeah, he sent me these earlier, and I said to him, do you want me to answer that now or on the podcast? So I was like, I'm going to answer it on the podcast if you want. But I had, like, an answer ready in case he wanted it. And
Go on, then.
the answer to MotorStorm is the guys that developed it were Evolution Games or Evolution Studios or something like that. And Codemasters bought them out when they went under. And there was a game released last year. I don't know if either of you played it, but it was called Damn it, I forgot his name. I had it on the tip of my tongue earlier as well. Because it's basically a spiritual successor because it's developed by the same people, but under Codemasters. Onrush,
Yeah.
that was what it was called. Onrush was... It basically had a trial of some description last summer. It was like June or July time. And
Is it the game that's on Game Pass at minute?
It might have been on Game Pass rather than being on trial. Maybe it was on Game Pass. I know I was playing it and I was earning achievements on it and it was pretty fun. But that is a spiritual successor to MotorStorm because it is the same, or at least some of the same dev team that made those games way back when on the PS3, I want to say it was. And it's those same people picked up by Codemasters and they work as like a separate branch of Codemasters and they make that. I don't know if they made anything else, but they made the Onrush game. So go try that. Maybe if it is on Game Pass and you've got Game Pass access. That is your answer to that.
I think it is. I'm sure I've seen it on there. How have you sat and played someone watching WoW? I can't sit and watch someone else play WoW because I think they're doing it wrong because everything looks different. That's my problem with looking at anyone else's. Even when I look at yours, Thomas, I know that it works for you and I know that you obviously can play with it like that, but I'm like, I don't know how you're doing that because I can't see where everything is. Or anything.
It's like for me, I get your point because I have the same gripe. Like, I don't understand how people can play with the default UI in a game like that for some reason.
I can, but I like to change it so that it's all in different places.
I think my main gripe or my main problem is the fact that I use my silly gamepad thing, so I don't have the keyboard obviously laid out in the traditional 1, 2, 3, 4 so and so or all in a big long line, and that is obviously what the skill bar on a PC game mimics, isn't it? It's the 1 to 0 along the top of the keyboard. Where I don't play like that because I play with the gamepad. So I have like 5 buttons directly under my fingers and then another 5 buttons above them so I don't have to move very far. So mine's in like a couple of lines rather than one long line. So that's why I don't like how it looks. But WoW's not too bad to watch people play if they're good players doing endgame content.
True.
It's only the same as when people watch me play like Diablo, because all I do on Diablo when people watch it is grind. And sometimes people are more there for the kind of the chat and stuff than the actual gameplay. And it's easy to talk while you're playing something like that because you kind of go into autopilot when you're grinding on stuff.
Last but not least, by the looks of things, Torrent is last on the list. For me, it's going to have to be one of the Hitman games I've played, most of them, and I haven't disliked one of them so far. I then corrected him on what he wanted.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing you messaged him back and corrected him on what you wanted from him.
So Torrent sent us that comment, to which I had to say, we're looking for games that people generally don't, people like, but you've not played. And he's like, oh, and then sent a new answer. I just thought I wanted to mention that.
His
He
new
really
answer.
liked Hitman. I thought it was...
His new answer after Thomas's response was, oh shit, well then probably Fallout, even though everybody calls it shit, I'll be different.
Fallout 76?
Which doesn't...
I think everyone
that
calls it shit, he's referencing directly Fallout 76.
I see.
But generally the Fallout series, I think he means. As well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that is that.
It is, indeed.
I will take back over for the last bit, which is saying goodbye. Goodbye, everyone. No.
Bye.
Bye.
If you would like to get in touch with us, you can do so on Twitter. It's that_king_thing. You can find us on Facebook by just simply searching for That King Thing. And if you head online to thatkingthing.com, there are links to many things on there now, such as our Discord server, our YouTube channel. Join the Discord and chat, watch stuff on YouTube. There's a link to Patreon where you can become a patron, and merch and stuff like that. I think that is everything. Oh, the Podchaser thing. Thanks to Smith88, who, after I mentioned that there's a link to the Podchaser where you can leave a review if you're not an iTunes person, Smith88 went and left us a nice little
Good
review
man.
on there. So thank
Nice
you
one,
for
Smith.
that, Smith88.
I'll give you a smooch.
Just run. Just
run
You'll
from
catch
that.
I'll be able to catch him.
Before James commits to things that will scare off our listeners, I'm going to say goodbye. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
And make sure you stay till the end of the music for Joshua's hilarious outtake fuck-ups. Thank you. That is one of the best intros to Final Fantasy X. Anyway, continue.
There's only one intro to Final Fantasy X. Just saying.
I'm pretty sure I said that is the best
Deja
intro
and
to
Tender
Final
will
Fantasy.
Will
but,
Hodkin.
okay.
Alright then.
Just Will.
Deja and Tender will Wolf Will Hodkin.
It's gone to shit.
I
I'm just going to cut.
I said it quickly first time.
Let me just cut all this weird shit out that went wrong after the whole Final Fantasy X thing. And Josh will just read his names
I'll
again.
start with... Are you ready?
Yeah.
Deja and Tender will... No. Fucking hell, I can't do it now.
Just Will.
I'll do it again. This is all
Deja
going
and
as one of
Tender
those
will
Patreon
Will
bloopers.
Hodkin.
No, you're going to have to do it again because I was talking over it. Do it again.
But no, I'm laughing and I can't stop.
Do it again.
I hate you, Will. I hate you so much. Deja and Tender will Wolf Will Hodkin.
Just Will.
Just Will. Do it again because nobody's going to get this. Do it again. This time. This is the one.
You two need to shut up then.
We're not saying nothing.
Deja and Tender will Wolf. Shut up as soon as I start
We're not saying anything. Do it again. Fucking hell.
Deja and Tender will Wolf Will Hodkin.
Just
Will.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, we're not recording then.
Oh. Just read it.
He says, Will. He says, Resident Evil.
Do it again. Do it again.
He says Will.
I didn't say Will, I don't know why.
Do you know what? I think everyone's going to have to get this blooper. Because this one's too intense.
Will, get out of system, Will. No,
Do it
Will
one more
Hodkin,
time.
Will. Deja
Come
and
on.
Tender, Will.
This needs to be the one. Let's
What,
do
from the
this.
beginning? From the top?
Just do it from his name.